is Goop featuring Amos and Angelic. 10 minutes after 8. Welcome to it, the third and final hour of the show.
Yeah.
And Thursday come by so quickly. It's Thursday, another Thursday. You know, we're getting into talking about properties. And today, no different. We're going to be joined by Philip Skuman looking at property. And here's the thing. When you get into property, or when it comes to buying property, it can either be a hit or a miss. Because, you know, there's this trend or this idea where people will talk about how buyers would want to buy undervalue houses and then get into renovating them and, you know, do whatever it is they want to do with those houses. So today we're looking at the pros and cons of that particular practice. We have in studio owner and broker of REMAX, Philip Skuman. Morning, Philip. How you doing?
Morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
It is a pleasure.
Always a pleasure having you, Philip. So let's start with explaining about undervalued property or undervalued home. What exactly are we talking about?
Okay, so I think everybody has a conceptual idea of what a bargain in the property market would be. But I think the most important thing is to remember is that all markets aren't equal. And a bargain in Naboomspruit and a bargain in Steyn City ain't the same thing.
That's true.
Okay? So that being said, the current average in Limpopo is that, you know, let me share a shocking statistic with you, is that 90% of properties on Property 24 don't move. They don't move. There's a movement in 10% of the property stocks that are on market. People tend to base the value of their houses on what Prop 24 says their value sort of should look like. But I can guarantee you are probably 10 to 15% overpriced.
What?
So the first things first is the properties you see on a normal market are all overpriced, 90% of them, okay, because they don't sell. If property doesn't sell, it means it's overpriced.
Sure.
Doesn't mean how good your agent is. Your agent can add a little bit of value, but
So all these houses you keep on seeing on the property websites, and it's just there. It's like a year
All the
in, like
time.
it's always there.
yeah, we got a property that's been on the market for 9 years.
What?
Yes.
And you just keep it on the website.
Let's not even go there. But what I'm
That's a topic for
trying,
another day. It's always noting that, yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that some clients, they all say, you know, no, we're not in a hurry to sell or whatever. It depends largely on the situation. The point is, if we base our pricing on a inflated value itself already, and we're going to add 10% on that to try and score profit from our most valuable investments, you know, people start, you know, the market doesn't move. And yeah, so that's the thing. Most of the properties you see is overpriced. Now, when a property drops 10%, which is probably what you can expect now on average, depending on your price range. For instance, let me use an example. If you're buying 1.5 million and downwards, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of clients in that market. You're not going to find a bargain. You're just not gonna, okay? Sure. Because, and I'm going to use an example if we have time. But now in the bracket of 1.5 million to 2.5 million, 3 million, there's less buyers. Now you can start expecting, because there's less buyers, sellers are more motivated to, you know, let the property go. So now you can pick it up at a better price. Usually 5 to 10% drop. In 1.5, you know, if somebody comes and makes a lower offer, we don't have to accept it, because the next day or that very same day I'll find another buyer that's going to pay full price. So it's like, don't even waste your time trying to look for a bargain in the lower bracket. There's too many buyers. It's a highly competitive market. When you're looking for bargains, if you're looking for a real bargain, go to Broadlands. There are houses there that took them 15, 12 bar, 10 bar to build.
Yeah.
The market value in sales there is roughly 6 to 7 to 8 bar, depending on the house.
Yeah.
Now you're picking up a bargain. Now you're scoring 40% discount.
Wow.
Do you have the money to invest that? No. And the reason that those prices are so low, or that you are picking up bargains there, is because there's not enough new millionaires in the market.
Yeah.
People that have houses, or the millionaires that exist already have houses, okay? They're either buying more or buying for investment. Now, buying a more expensive property like the upper echelons in the market, not necessarily a good investment either. So it has its pros and its cons. You might buy it cheap, but you can't rent it out. It's got a bad return on investment. Or you buy it at market value on this side, and you actually generate a return on investment, which is a long-term thing. So you've got to decide where you want to make your profit, and what is the most sustainable way to look at and approach your portfolio with. Because if you're an investor looking to pick up bargains, or if you're somebody that looks to buy a family home.
Yeah, sometimes people do that. They got these undervalued homes, so it's like these beat down houses, thinking, you know what, we'll come and renovate.
Let me just say quickly, flipping doesn't work. Flipping means
works on
buying,
TV.
it works on selling Sunset and TV. Flipping Josie, that doesn't exist.
Sure.
Okay, in the normal markets, it doesn't exist. It's an overinflated hype. It worked 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Currently, and I can take you through the sums. It's not feasible. I don't even flip homes, and I can save myself commission.
Yeah.
Do I flip homes?
Sure.
No, I don't.
No.
There's no money in there.
Right.
Well, the risk is too great. There's easier ways of making money. Well, let's put it this way: there are easier ways of losing money.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Buying a family home. Yeah. So you wanted to say?
So essentially, that's you describing what an undervalued property or or a home would be. I can't help but wonder: is it a good idea to buy this undervalued house and turning it into your dream home?
Yes. Now we are talking. This is the only way where it's worth it.
Okay.
Is if you, and I always say, you find two types of buyers: people that buy with their heads, people that buy with their hearts. If you're buying with your head, you're buying for investment purposes. It's only sums that should matter. I can sell a property off a piece of paper showing you the calculations. You should say yes if your mindset's right. If you are a home buyer buying something where you can feel comfortable hanging your coat, where you can see your kids growing up, now we're talking emotions.
Right.
You see, it's a totally different decision-making paradigm, if you're with me. So now, the real value, if you really want to get a good deal, is buy in the older established suburbs. You'll find 1,000, 1,500 square yards, 400 square houses. You can't build it for the 2 million rand price tag.
Yeah.
You're going to spend 5, 6 building them. You're buying an old house. You got to know it. You're buying it at market value. If you're lucky, you're going to get 5% discount depending on the price bracket that you're in. But you shouldn't be expecting bargains at 2.5 million. You should be start expecting bargains from 4 bar onwards. Okay, that's where the market, that's where the buyers start, dwindling. Where there's almost no buyers. So yeah, it works. It really, really works well. If you're going to buy an existing house for 2 million, 2.5 million, you're going to spend 300,000. On average, a bathroom, if you're doing it really nice, will cost you 100K. Okay, kitchen can cost you anywhere up to 400, depending on your taste.
Yeah.
But you can have a decent setup, revamped, 50 grand a bathroom, and 150K for the kitchen. So if you spend 200, 250, 300K on a 2.5 million rand house, you've added that value. Now you stay. Now you stay for 5 years before you can start expecting to break even. Okay. If you made a very good financial decision, you would be able to break even after 3 years. If you made a very bad financial decision, you would be looking at breaking even after 7 years. But the average is 5. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
3 would make it a bad decision or a good decision. 7 would make it a bad decision. The average is 5. We're talking 2 years, vice versa. I'm trying to say, don't hang back looking for a bargain. Your enemy is time. The quicker you buy, the quicker you're in it. Next time, the right bargain will come. You get what I'm saying? You need to build your portfolio as quickly as possible because time is the enemy, not the purchase price.
Now, is it a common thing? Does it happen a lot that people purchase these homes and turn them into their dream homes? How often does it happen?
Not often enough.
Right.
Because that brings a lot of value to existing suburbs where they now revamping their homes, changing the face, changing the curb appeal. Now it's a much more attractive house. Now it sort of inspires the neighbor to do the same and the neighbor to do the same. Before you know it, the area has
developed
this feel of energy,
right,
of newness, and that is what's going to draw a lot more people to your suburb. That's what's going to increase your value, is the desirability of your suburb. Now, Broadland's most coveted suburb in Polokwane, yet that's where you're going to pick up bargains.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not, it depends on the balance of the economy, where people are. Staying city, you won't have the same problem. Although I've heard of the greatest bargains I've heard of has been in Staying City.
Really? Right. Sure. All right, we're going to leave our conversation here for today. Thank you so much. Philip, we appreciate your time as always on Thursdays. That was a broker and owner of REMAX, Philip Skuman.
Thanks.